Welcome back to Hunter Ice Skating Stadium, the last game of today, the last game of the round robin section of the Tange tournament, ACT against Queensland. I'm Eric Brook, and alongside me, David Baxter. David, welcome back for your fourth time today.
Thanks, Eric. It's good to be back. It's good to be invited back. I feel like I've been successful in my mission so far.
You have been, and you were on your own little mission a little bit earlier on, having a look at the goalie situation here. You are an extended member of the goalie union, and you were having a chat with the coaching staff from the ACT a few moments ago downstairs.
Yeah, the goalie world is a very small world. I do a little bit of goalie coaching too. I try and drive my guy to do a bit of goalie coaching down at Liverpool. But all these goalie camps, guess what? All the opposition goalies collect and share and train together.
So we're having a look at screen, and at the moment is Cameron Sargent, and you were talking to his father Mike, who's the coach of the ACT unit.
Yeah, so apparently I asked him for a bit of information about himself and anyone on the team, and so he was forthright in saying that he grew up in Canada around Niagara Falls, not too far from where I grew up. We know it for its wonderful landmark, but his son is also a wonderful landmark. He's the goalie, Charlie Sargent. So he's been a goalie for a number of years, I've been told. Now this is right out of the coach's words. His nickname when he was young was Civ. Don't know why he chose that one, but now he's graduated to Colander. So let's hope he's not a Colander.
Being roasted by your own coach, who happens to be your father as well. And he made specifically, he says, can you mention that?
Yeah.
So having looked at the Queensland goalie situation, we don't have any intel about anyone roasting Ronan Hoy or Ethan Mayer, but they're two solid goalies. Really, it's a luck of the draw. The coaches obviously know who they've picked. It's the last game in the tournament, first place versus last place in the round robin. The ACT understaffed. They have put up a lot of fight for the entire tournament. But Queensland, they've got lots of power, lots of strength.
Yeah, so I'm familiar with a few of the ACT players who play in New South Wales. Some of them play for the club that I'm affiliated with, Liverpool. But they're smattered across all of them, I think. Newcastle, the Emperors. So they've battled hard. I don't think they've had too many training opportunities as a unit, but I'm sure a lot of friendships have been made.
Oh, absolutely, and they didn't necessarily got picked by their home state, and New South Wales, for instance, and all the other teams. If anyone who didn't get picked by their home state went into a player pool, and that's like someone, for instance, like Dylan Maybe, did that in the WA pool. And Greg Krisniov got thrown in there. Venhorst possibly. I think there's another couple that are...
Venhurst is Emperors, Venhorst.
So having a look, here's the Queensland net on screen. And Mayer will take the start again as he did in my last game.
And Queensland will progress to the next round.
We'll get confirmations off the tournament director, Dawn White, when they're announced hopefully at the end of this game, and let you know who's coming up tomorrow. But semi-final action.
So before I forget, Saxon Cannon is in the starting lineup. I know his dad is watching from an army base somewhere, top secret. John, enjoy the game.
Indeed, and Saxon does indeed have a cannon. As we fling it in, we met. That will come back all the way back down. And there he is, the man on screen, Saxon Cannon. Hello to your father, wherever he may or may not be. Secret Squirrel up against the boards.
You might think he's in the army now.
Back now, here comes We Met. He was certainly under fire there in the corner. Here comes ACT working it out of the defensive end. We Met on the charge. So Sargent is in net. for the ACT. Maybe he said that to you deliberately because he knew that his son was starting.
Yeah, maybe. Never trust a parent.
Yeah, if your parent can't throw you under the bus. So an attacking zone face-off coming up now for Queensland. And speaking of parents, Jay Partridge, the father of Aussie, who's on screen now, has commentated some games for Thought Fox for Brisbane Lightning. So in the corner now, Cafe corner, up against the boards. Aforementioned Aussie Partridge firing, wide of Sargent, no action required. Here's Mannix now firing it in and coming back. Centering, here comes the ACT. ACT with it now. They're looking to enter the zone. They enter the zone now in some traffic. Here comes Queensland again. Here's Hodges. Hodges now enters the zone. He just looked like he was taking him for a ride in Oliver Gilling there. And the first goal for Queensland comes nice and early.
Second shot of the game. So, you know, Coach also did tell me that ACT goalie Sargent is, he's seen a lot of shots this tournament, so he's tired.
Certainly has been. Certainly has seen a lot of shots and a lot of action, even though they can alternate between the two. Clearing it now for the ACT is Van Horst. Clearing it into the slot. Now they clear it out. Flung in there by Jones. Battle up against the backboards.
So we've got a 99 on the ACT.
Yeah, I could tell you more of the story about why he's actually wearing 99 when we get a second. But I did find out the story via Dawn Watt.
Okay.
Up against the boards, and it will come back now into Cafe corner. Reinforcements arrive. Gilling's been good for the ACT up against the boards.
Yeah, he's a pesky forward. I've seen a lot of him over the last few years.
So Van Horst firing from distance across the face of goal. No action required by Sargent. So call from the Queensland bench, who's in my right ear. Don't get lazy, don't get lazy. So that's setting the tone. And of course they're coming in towards the final. So we'll finish the 99 story while we're here.
Okay.
Now, one of the other players in the ACT got injured pre-tournament. And so 99 was actually their spare jersey. And so they didn't have time to get another jersey for Will Waters, who's in 99. So they put a nameplate on it. So that's not to say, oh, you know, Will Waters is the best player in the world and he asked for the number. That just happened to be their spare jersey, and that just happened to be the number and the nameplate sewn on.
98 was taken.
Oh, who knows? But I'm not superstitious about a lot of numbers, but 99 I am, and having one as a skater, I'm not a fan of that one. Up against the boards, we met up against 99 99 Waters, until I actually found out who he was. I was actually calling him that the other day, 99 Waters, because Liam Waters is also wearing 64.
Brother, yeah. Twins on the same team.
Twins, absolutely.
Yeah.
Call from Queensland coach. Challenge it. It'll come back now. Mannix on the blue line trying to fire. Only found some support there. Danny in the slot. Puck's free, goes wide. No action required there by Sargent. Trying to clear it out. I liked, of course, hearing all these backstories, but you know, sometimes it's hard unless you actually meet up with someone and that sort of thing. And you know, the schedule's very compressed with 76 games in 10 days.
Yeah.
So they clear it out. I think this is game number 6 for me today. It'll come back now, Christiov trying to clear it out. One of the players in the talent pool who playing for ACT. And they'll come back now. It'll come back all the way back now for Pelotti. Turning and chasing is Cannon. Cannon up against the boards against Maybe. Maybe he His brother Brandon's been playing for Perth Thunder in the AI this season, been doing a good job. Walking in now is Sargent.
Yeah.
He's not Sargent, it's rather Warden against Sargent. Warden there, firing from distance, wide of Sargent. Now they look to clear it out by Van Horst on the right-hand side. DeRoy briefly, Mannix swinging it back in for Queensland. And up against the boards in Cafe Corner. Good hit there by Cannon, certainly hit the target. Firing from distance in front, cleared out of the immediate slot area. Van Horst has been busy for the ACT. Back now for Warden. The one positive thing about the ACT, in all the divisions that are here, they have fielded teams.
Yeah, it's good to see ACT. You don't know until you get here where you're at, and it's good to have peers also in the hockey world in other areas. There's camp opportunities, tournament opportunities. You just don't know. Sometimes teams can only field a part of a team, in some of these tournaments across the country, other than nationals. And, some of these kids will get opportunities to play for these teams.
That was a great shot from Christiov. For instance, exactly what you're talking about, Amelia Knott, who is goaltender for South Australia in a couple of divisions here in this tournament. She's going overseas soon to a college in Massachusetts. So that's great for her.
Yeah.
Back now, centering Hodges. Centering again, just happy to dump it in Queensland.
So, Queensland are playing a bit more conservatively this game. I think it's, they're just going to work on a few systems.
Queensland bench certainly firing up, trying to encourage their team. Back now with Middleton. He's got Vincent Bond on the blue line, who injects himself into the play. Has some support there by Hodges. Back now for Bond, centering pass, ricocheted past Liam Walters. Here's an opportunity for Gilling. Gilling trying to get around one. Boland was back there. Zamboni corner, centering. It almost went through on the attack. Good shot there. It's a good shot there by Tucky. Coming in now, here's Hodges. Could have been played with a high stick. Back now, Middleton for Queensland. Cleared out. Dalgety hasn't seen a lot of ice time. Here's Maroon Campbell walking the blue line. Or Campbell of the Hugh variety, as I like to say sometimes, up against the boards. Cafe Corner. ACT, they're putting up a great fight.
Yeah, they're battling. They're playing for pride.
Out of the zone, we met. Sorry.
Yeah, they're playing for pride, so it's good.
It'll come back now for We Met. We Met around a couple, entering the zone now. Firing, got some shin pads on the way through of Van Horst, who's been busy. Looking to clear it out against the ACT. Benini, I tried to get a... Panahi.
Yeah.
Some of the players on the bench and you on the way through to the central commentary box were trying to give me a pronunciation lesson on the fly.
So Nick hasn't actually been playing hockey all that long. I think this is his third year. So he's come a long way in 3 years.
Certainly has. Up against the boards with 7:27 remaining, line change coming on, and we've been hearing lots of interesting stories and trying to share as much as we can. Erin Breach, for instance, the goalie in the Ginsberg tournament for ACT's only been a goalie for a year and a half, and she's had a great tournament in terms of the number of shots that she's faced. And it's all about development and learning, hanging out with your mates, especially for the younger age groups. These guys, especially in the Queensland team, have probably been together a little bit earlier, and that will come back now. Here comes Christiov entering the zone. That will come all the way back down. Deflected high and wide out of play. You were telling us in the earlier game, I think it was Warden, if my memory serves correctly, lives in Coffs Harbour, plays in the Queensland system.
Yeah, that's right. So, I would have started on that. There's a Coffs Harbour hockey tournament, 3-on-3. The skirmish, and I believe it's on this year again. And that, for everyone who's stopped for a banana ice cream and driven back to the parking lot, you would have found the ice rink.
So that was a great shot from Christiov from distance. Players come together, but not much comes from that. So 6:59 remaining. It's only 1-0 Queensland. Shots on. Fairly small, 6-4. ACT are certainly keeping up.
Yeah.
This has been a competitive age group for them. Coming back now, here comes Queensland, clearing it out of their zone. Past the stick of Cannon. Safety first, please, Mr. Sargent. Thank you. I always get worried about goalies when they come and do that, even in the NHL. Bond, Vincent Bond, Boland entering the zone. DeGraw trying to get sent wide by Gilling. Some reinforcements arrive, including Alex Sargent. Again, continuing the family theme that we've been talking about all tournament.
We're assuming they're
so
brothers.
that was loud and clear from the Queensland bench. Stop dancing around. Back now for Bond. Bond pressured there. It's good pressure there by Liam Waters. Up against Bond. Bond recovering. Leaving it back now for Boland. right hand side. Finds Bond, sending Cannon off for a skate against Von Horst. Coming back now, Cannon driving the net as Partridge for company. Partridge was in some traffic. He came through to grab the puck there, Sargent. So Sargent catching with the right glove.
Oh, Hodges blew a blade. Nope.
Battling here, here's Dougherty. Aerial, not quite aerial enough for the roof. ACT looking to clear it out via maybe. Back now for We Met around one, around two, firing. Deflected high. Kept in the zone and out of play here by Queensland. 5:16 remaining in the first.
Yeah, it's just a 1-0 game at this stage. Not too many shots. Queensland are, probably have more of the zone time in ACT. But, yeah, so far it's quite even.
Attacking zone face-off, and Queensland camping here. Back now, Mannix working the left-hand side, centering pass, firing Warden. Warden again. Warden now getting around one. Getting around two. They need somebody in front of the net. Campbell's providing that net front presence now.
They're dancing it around now, eh?
Back now. And he comes on the blue line. Trying to firing it in towards Cafe Corner. They did have somebody in front of the net. Sorry, David.
Oh, yeah. Just some nice edge work by the forwards there, in behind the net.
Here's Hugh Marone Campbell. Back now for Mannix. Out of the zone, so they have to come back, Warden and Mannix. Notice today Warden's been playing a lot more D. That will come up against Mannix near the door of doom. They look to clear it out. Liam Waters briefly.
Someone's broken their stick, do they know?
Another one. Don't think that was the door of doom's fault on this occasion. And it'll come all the way back now. Christiov. That was a centering pass that could have been dangerous, but there were no Victorian players in that matter. Queensland players in the vicinity. They look to clear it out. Applying some pressure is Molly.
So Queensland seem to be doing a lot of good short shifts, which is probably a good idea if, when they're going off into the next round. They don't want to work themselves too hard.
Shot Molly goes wide. Kept in the zone, Boland. 3:40 remaining. A quick game's a good game sometimes. Up against the boards. Kept in the zone by Queensland. Heavily contacting in the corner near skate higher. Stanecki. Back now for Boland, who's been busy. Working down low in the slot, trying to find Vincent Bond. Molly injects himself slightly wide. Back now for Molly, chasing his own rebound. Got
Good
helps
hit.
into the boards. Cafe Corner. They try and keep him down here, Queensland. They're doing a great job of keeping him down here. Back now for Boland. Boland fires wide. Back now, Molly. Behind his own net, Stanecki. Looking to fire wide. Boland. Right hand side, Stanecki. And he'll come back now for Bond. They're working down low. Here's Haley now. Haley driving the net. They need somebody in front. Cannon's in the general vicinity, firing from distance, wide. Back now to Grant, Bond. Here's Bond, long time between whistles. Bond, left-hand side, 2:20 remaining in the period. Cross-ice pass. Here's Boland. Boland now with it, centering. In some traffic. Trying to clear it out is Sargent. Cleared out all the way back down, and that will come back for icing with 2:05 remaining.
So so this is when teams are under siege a lot, like Canberra, ACT, you find their scramble defense actually they become experts at it, and you're finding that in this game. They're not really giving much of the inner zone to the Queensland team. They're playing passing around the perimeter, but they're really getting ham-fisted in tight.
Back now, centering, wide of Sargent, no action required. Kept in the zone, Hodges, up against the boards. Springs back up like an Energizer Bunny. ACT trying to clear it out of the zone. Battle up against the boards. And ACT trying to clear it out via Christiov. Going the aerial route, out of the zone. Dalgety comes down. Back for Gillard, there's a penalty coming. They've drawn the penalty. 2 minutes for a trip. Penalty box door will be opening, and Queensland will head to the power play.
Harvey disagrees.
Have you ever won an argument heading towards the penalty box, David?
No, I never.
You never go into the penalty box, or you never argue?
Both.
Both. Okay, cool.
Do you believe me?
Yeah. I've got no reason not to believe you at this point. Attacking zone face-off. Get to work. Queensland's the call from the bench. Power play for Queensland. ACT look to clear it out. Selecting power drive. 90 seconds remaining in the period. Mayer just settling the puck down. 1:20 on the big clock. Minute 45 on the small clock in the favour of the ACT. Here's Partridge now. Partridge entering the zone. Looking for somebody in front. There's nobody there at the moment. Hugh Campbell's probably the closest one. The puck skips on Jones a little bit. Jones around one. Trying to head in front now is Kimmett. An opportunity for Queensland now on the power play. Here's Boland. Partridge at the top of the umbrella. Here's Partridge. Walks the blue line. Thinks about firing. Left-hand side. Has some support in Jones. Cross-ice pass finding Boland.
Yeah.
Back now on the top of the umbrella, Partridge. You were saying, David?
Yeah, so ACT, see how they're boxing out there. They're used to being, they're very comfortable being where they are. And Queensland just, they're just a little ham-fisted. There isn't, the entry coming in. So it's just scramble and setting up and trying to set a play, which can be daunting when maybe you're used to playing more end-to-end or neutral zone games.
Attacking zone face-off. Queensland, we met up against the boards, flung out by the ACT with 25 seconds remaining in the period. Zamboni corner. Molly does a good job of clearing it out. We met. Has plenty of opportunities, plenty of ice to look at. Entering the zone now is Warden. Got Middleton for company. 12 seconds remaining in the period. And it will come back now. And it will come back now for Middleton. Middleton, left-hand side. Attacking the net back door is Molly. Back now for Middleton. And they run out of time, passing it backwards and forwards. 23 seconds remaining of the power play for Queensland when we come back.
Yeah, it reminds me of watching almost some of the international hockey games where, like, a team like Switzerland, where they go into defensive shells, soccer matches, and defensive shells can work, and then you just seize on the error or the break and play, and you can get back into the game.
Does Switzerland spend a lot of time in the neutral zone?
Well, they are known for their Switzerland. They're yeah, okay, you got me there. Oh man, you got me. Yeah.
Back to let's have a look at the ACT bench, David.
Well played.
Thank you, mate. 1-0, Brooke. Let's have a look at the ACT bench. What would you be telling them if you were Coach Mike Sargent?
Just keep doing what you're doing. Wait for Queensland's mistakes. Have fun with it. If you can, try and get a breakaway or even a 2-on-1. And yeah, just don't try and do anything that it's beyond it. You know, they're getting outplayed by Queensland, but they can seize on their mistakes.
They're doing a great job in defence, the ACT. It's only 1-0. Shots on favouring Queensland 8-4. And they've still got 23 seconds of the power play when we come back. New period, let's go is the call.
Yep.
And it is a new period. And it'll come back now. On the attack, here comes the ACT, short-handed, high and wide of Maya, no action required. Valuable seconds off the power play, and they're at the wrong end, Queensland. Warden under pressure by Maybe, not Maybe under pressure, no, definitely under pressure from Maybe. It'll come back for Christioff. Christioff firing it in, power play over, puck goes out of play.
So we get to exercise our necks maybe over to the right-hand side of the rink. My neck was getting tight from the left-hand side.
In one direction.
Yeah.
Neutral zone face-off. Haley will take it for Queensland. Just outside their attacking zone. Entering the zone now is DeGraw. That will come back in towards Zamboni corner. Zamboni out in 14.5 minutes. He's bowling now. DeGraw, cross-ice pass for Bond, Vincent Bond, out of the zone. Breakaway opportunity for the ACT.
Oh.
He lost it behind him. He was off to the races, DeRoy, but he forgot to put the saddle on the horse. Back now, Cannon, up against the boards, Maybe, definitely in the corner, firing across face at goal. Back now for Bond, Vincent Bond in the corner, right near official's corner, trying to clear it out now. There's a Queensland player down who's taking his time to get up in the corner. He's up and about now. Kept in the zone by Bond. Trying to clear it out, slightly wide. Back now for Boland, Zamboni corner. Maybe the Zamboni break for Queensland can't come quick enough and the coach can have a chat to them and set them straight.
Yeah, I think I'd like to see them utilize their defense more too. The ACT, they're down low in their shell, and there is a bit of space for the defense.
Back now, out of the zone now to Roy. That will come back now. And that will come back now for Queensland via Hodges. Good poke check.
There you go.
Played with a high stick and goal. So advantage Queensland in any case. And it's 2-0 Queensland.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens from the second goal. You know, whether we get a rush of them or we get to see more defensive shell strength.
So what it looked like on the replay there was that it was going to be a high sticking call, but the advantage was played to Queensland and they were able to play on and score. If it had been a high stick by Queensland, well then the goal would have been disallowed. Back now and hold there by Sargent. New line coming on for Queensland.
Yeah, they're running their lines, aren't they? They're
certainly
probably running. How many do they have? Do they have? They probably have 3. Yeah.
3 lines. Yeah, 3 lines definitely.
Yeah, they're probably rolling all 3 lines at the moment.
Back now on the attack. Sargent there on the right-hand post. Here's Kim in some traffic. Walking the blue line. Dalgety.
Yeah, Dalgety. Yeah.
Clearing it in. Jones backdoor opportunity if he had been a bit closer. We met. Looking. Getting around Sargent of the Alex variety. In some traffic. Getting Len all over. Power play coming up for Queensland. Extra attacker coming in the process of coming on now. Queensland. ACT look to touch up before the penalty gets enforced. With 12:24 remaining in the second. 2-0 Queensland. 2 minutes on the power play clock. Mayer almost made it all the way back.
Yeah, it's a hard slog, isn't it, when you're in a defensive shell and then now you're on the penalty kill.
Alex Sargent sits 2 minutes for a hold. Warden with it now. Attacking zone face-off. Start of the Queensland power play. Back now for Maybe. Here's We Met out of the zone. So they have to retreat Queensland. We Met taking his team backwards. He'll be back now for Jack Molly. Cross ice pass.
Nice
Entering the zone is Warden. Warden now looking to set it up. Find some support in Middleton in Zamboni corner. Defence there by Maybe. Shows him the wall. It'll come back now and they'll look to clear it out now. Hodges centering pass into corporate corner. They need somebody in front of the net now. Hodges is a good one for that. Back now for Middleton. Got a couple of players zooming around now. We Met working down low. They look to need Hodges in the front. Or Middleton. Middleton squeezes in for the power play goal. They had two options there. Middleton or Hodges. They picked Middleton. Middleton executes greatly.
Yeah, just that one man down. There's just a bit more space for Queensland there to have some options in close. It's amazing what that will do.
So back to centre ice we go, 3-0. Shots on favouring Queensland, 11-4. Entering the zone now. Here comes Haley. Haley trying to squeeze through a gap. Cleared out by the ACT near the door of doom. Centering pass. Under pressing was DeGraw. Trying to attack the net there was Cannon, but Sargent holds. Attacking zone face-off Queensland. Power play goal, the last one. Back now Molly. Boland out of the zone, ACT. Stanaki. The puck balloons into the air. Stanaki again fires it in. ACT gloving it down to themselves, and it will come back now for Boland. Boland, right-hand side, has some support, firing it in. Deflected out of play at the Queensland bench.
It was pinned in down on this side.
So we're going to go for a neutral zone face-off closest to the ACT bench. Good afternoon, Queensland bench. Neutral zone face-off. Here's Middleton now, the scorer at the last goal for Queensland. Middleton now driving the net. Driving the net, Hodges.
It's in.
Now it's in. Sargent not happy, but it went in as ruled to have gone in, and it'll be 4-0.
Let's watch the replay, see what we can get from behind.
So here's Sargent. We'll look at this action on the replay.
Oh yeah, the tap in.
Tapped in there.
Yeah.
So 4-0. So it looks like you're right, David, where you were saying that they hadn't had many goals and then all of a sudden it's been bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, yeah.
10:55 remaining in the second, and we'll have that one again. At least it's not like rugby union where if it was the equivalent, it would take them 55 minutes to have a face-off in rugby union. Have you seen a rugby union scrum lately?
Yeah, they're...
Back now, Maybe clears it out.
Is that your second sport? Rugby union?
It's nowhere near my second sport. Nowhere near. It'll come back now, Hodges. Hodges now looking to centre. Hodges centering.
Big defence there.
Good work, Christia, putting his body on the line for the ACT. It's not even his home territory. Back now, Hodges trying to clear it up. They collide. Unfortunate. Here comes Queensland getting sent wide. Is Partridge firing. Sargent. The puck's still free. ACT need to clear it out. Middleton taking over. And they try and clear it out. It will come back now for Hodges. Cross ice pass. It will come back firing from distance there, but unable to convert was Mannix. It will come back now for Warden. Warden at his own defensive end, and that will come back down. And that will come back down. Entering the zone now is Partridge. Partridge firing. The puck balloons. So, that could have been a messy change for Queensland, but it worked out okay. Here's an opportunity for ACT. He sprayed it wide. It was good work by Gilling. Yeah. He's been very, very good for the ACT. New line coming on. Campbell and Jones battle in the corner near the door of the doom. On the attack, here comes Queensland. Here's Weemat. It's got Dalgety for company. Partial line change. Kimmett had to come off as he didn't have a stick. Stanaki, who does have a stick, comes on. That will come back now. ACT working out of the end. There's the Stanaki stick on the other side of the ice, flung in there by Queensland.
Yeah.
With 9:05 remaining. Lots of end-to-end action, and that will come all the way back down. And that will come back to icing. And to answer your earlier question, my second sport, I understand NRL, can understand what's going on. Like the women's NRL, the NRLW better than the men's.
Yeah, it's an exciting game, isn't it?
It's
like women's soccer.
I'm in Newcastle, and they've had a very good women's team in the NRLW. But apart from that, cricket in the summer.
Do any play-by-play cricket?
I have done.
Yeah.
Back now, Molly. And I've also done play-by-play rugby league. But hockey's been the main one. It's 10 years of commentary next year, 10 years in the sport this year.
Congrats.
Back now, here's 99 Waters battling up against Stanaki. 99 Waters putting up a good fight. Good work there by Will. Clearing it out back in towards neutral ice. Pushed off the puck. Kept in the zone by Stanaki. Will come back now for Alex Sargent. Cross ice pass. It will come back out of the zone. Boland. Queensland have to come back and chase. 8:20 remaining. Back now for Boland. Boland enters the zone now. It'll go into the zone right near Zamboni corner. Zamboni out in 8:10. It will come back. Molly! Molly shoots and Molly scores. Beautiful shot from Molly.
Yep, fortuitous bounce there.
He'll certainly take it.
Hard pressure.
So 5-0 now. Shots on 16-4 for Queensland.
Kind of went off his skate, and then forward, didn't it? Well, he was open for it.
Back now, Queensland. Here's Warden. Warden now, cross ice pass to his D partner Mannix. Entering the zone now is Cannon. Cannon trying to inject himself in traffic. It bounces through to Sargent, who holds 7:50 remaining, 5-0 Queensland.
So it feels like Sargent's had more than 16 shots, eh?
Oh, it does.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. Yeah, 16-4, according to the scoreboard.
So back now. Plus, there's probably been a lot more where they've been slightly off target and, of course, doesn't meet the definition of a shot, which is actually probably quite narrow compared to what some people may think. I know you know the difference between a shot and not, but it's a very interesting exercise to actually learn what is and what isn't. Up against the boards, reinforcements arriving, DeGraw amongst them. Christioff clearing it out now, kept in the zone by Queensland. Opportunity, cross ice pass, Haley. Slight hesitation, the back door was there.
Yeah, it was second chance saloon there. Misfired on the first one.
So Sargent there, he was there for the first one on the front door, but he couldn't get back for the back door, and taking advantage on that opportunity was Haley.
Yeah, you'd like to see a defense just look, head on a swivel a bit, just looking for that back door play.
So goalie change, Sargent off, Murray on.
No nicknames for Murray.
So, well, that's good. That's good sportsmanship here. The Queensland bench were clapping to say good job, not to say, we're so much better than you, but they're just saying, hard work for the whole tournament, Sargent. Back now, Hodges. Hodges now behind the net. He's got Middleton in front. He's got Middleton in front of the net. Cleared there by Murray. That will come back cleared up. Heads up. Heading in the general direction of the central commentary position. We're all okay. Back now for Weemat. Crossing up. It'll come back. It'll be cleared in. Kept in the zone. DeRoy. Out by Hodges now.
Here comes the freight train.
Here comes the freight train. Hodges driving the net. And a good save there. I thought Hodges was going to roof that and was able to get it over the shoulder.
Yeah.
So you come in cold in this situation. This is not easy. You got Bryce Hodges coming through you in 60 million miles an hour, and that's like your second shot.
Yeah. It's not where dreams are made of.
No. Although, as we have said before, goalies are a special breed.
Yeah.
Actually, if you want to know some goalie science, have a look at YouTube. There's, the six go flying again. So first equipment warning in relation to player having some exposed skin on his forearm, apparently.
All right.
Is what I was able to overhear from our
He's got to
officials.
Stay out of the weight room.
Oh, absolutely. Back now in towards neutral ice. Here's Waters. Here's Campbell, Hugh Campbell, getting sent wide by Gilling.
Oh, he was testing the boundaries there, Gilling.
Up against the boards. The puck needs to continue to move. Up against the boards. Here's Sargent of the Alex variety looking to clear. Oh, that was a risky cross-ice pass. No harm, no foul in the end, but less than ideal. Up against the board.
Arms up again.
Offside.
Yep.
So just to finish off the story, on YouTube there's a video about the science of being a goalie. They put a really small guy in a sumo suit to compare what that would be like if you can move from side to side compared to being a larger guy who doesn't move. So there's another one, interesting video to look up later. Here comes Molly entering the zone. Jamison fires, hit the bar, clang, and out.
Yeah, I tried goalie a couple times in beer league as a man who's not exactly young.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
It's very tiring.
Certainly is. And how they do it, Stanaki fires.
That was a nice shot.
Stanaki scores.
Yep.
7-0. So back to centre ice we go. So finish that one, Dave.
Yeah. So it was an experience.
Yep.
Sometimes you got to do one for the team, and not many people put up their hand often.
Absolutely, especially at a beer league level or a more junior level. Playing back now, come back now for We Met. That will come all the way back down. We Met now. It's got all the wheels, crossing all the lines, driving way north towards the Sunshine Coast. Nice drive indeed. They got somebody in front now, Alex DeGraw. Back now, cycling, got somebody in front of the net, Saxon Cannon. Battle up against the boards, 4:55 remaining. And they'll clear it out. Heavy contact up against the boards, right in front of the central commentary possession. We Met against Maybe. That will come all the way back down, no icing. Up against the boards, DeGraw versus 99 Waters. Up against the boards, 4.5 minutes remaining, 7-0 to Queensland.
Alley-oop.
Zamboni corner, 4.5 minutes. We Met, centering, misses everybody and everything. Coming back, Cannon.
Bodies flying everywhere at the moment.
Clearing it out of the zone. Here comes the ACT. We Met, opportunity for Panahi.
Yeah.
And it'll come back now, and a good save there by Mayer, who hasn't seen a lot of action. Just to finish the point, I can remember playing beer league in Sydney at the ISU on a Tuesday night, and there'd be 3 games, and sometimes due to a goalie shortage we'd have one person playing 3 games, one after the other as a goalie, and that's hard work.
Yeah.
So back now, being a goalie at any time's hard enough, but when you play 3 beer league games one after the other, even if it is run time, that's not easy. Boland now enters the zone, drops it off for Hodges, but they've gone offside with 3:55 remaining.
Yeah, you pray for good defense, especially if you're playing back-to-back-to-back.
Yeah.
You don't want to be on that team that is short or doesn't value the defensive side.
Vaughan Horst clears it out. Back now for Bond. Vincent Bond. It'll come back for Christy Ovney, the door of doom. 3:48 remaining, up against the boards. Alex Sargent, cross ice. I don't know who he was cross ice nice passing it to.
Pass to his goalie and brother.
I'm sure.
Oh, no, not brother. It's
no. I had a goalie change.
If it was his brother, he probably wouldn't have.
Maybe he wouldn't have. I don't know who he was passing it to. Said he was going east-west instead of north-south. I learned that one this week. Up against the boards, in the slot. Here's Middleton. Cross-ice pass for Bond. Bond there. I knew it, but I like 50% knew it before. Back up against the boards. They trying to clear it out. Vaughanhorst does a good job of clearing it out. That will go all the way back down.
Yeah, utilize that glass, eh? It's a luxury.
They absolutely did.
Yeah.
Especially for both of these teams. Queensland playing out of Boondall and Acacia Ridge and playing out of the Brave Cave in Canberra. Have you played at the Brave Cave out of curiosity?
Never, no.
It's a good experience going down there as a fan.
Yeah. Yeah, they pack their house, don't they?
Absolutely pack their house. And cold place, Canberra in the middle of winter. Then you head into the Brave Cave
and I'm willing to bet some of these ACT players, that's how they probably were introduced to hockey.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sargent falls up against the boards. Cannon against Sargent. Cannon gets the better of that one near the door of doom. 2:38 remaining. ACT look to clear it out of their own defensive end, but they can't. Now they clear to the neutral ice. Here's Cannon. Misfires. Back now Vaughanhorst. 2:25 remaining. So they've got Haley in front. Back now, Warden fires. Great save, great desperation by the defence. And Mannix will come back now. Won't make it as far as icing. It will come back now with 2:08 remaining. Here comes Cannon. Cannon on for Haley, but they've gone offside.
Yeah, bugger.
2:03 remaining, David.
Yeah. 7-0. Yeah. So, saying 20 shots. Queensland they're playing a measured game at the moment. ECT are, they're still battling hard. It's a good experience for them. Playing against,
Queensland have got a great afternoon or great day of hockey coming up tomorrow with semis.
Yep. And
also gold medal games. Walking in Queensland, good save. Good secondary save as they were there. Back now for Wiemet. It'll be left-hand side for Hugh Campbell. Up against the board, Zamboni corner. Zamboni out in 140. Maybe clears it out. Pressured there up against the boards by Campbell. Corporate corner. Hello to all of our off-duty, on-duty, off-ice and on-off-ice officials. It's getting sent wide.
Good defence there.
Harvey trying to enter the zone for the ACT.
Wiemet stood him tall on the blue line. We'd like to see that.
Back now, exiting the zone, neutral ice. Here's Wiemet with it now, loses the handle on the stick. Kept into the zone well by Kimmett. Zamboni corner, Zamboni out in 65 seconds. There is 1 minute remaining in the second period. And that will come back for Boland. Boland keeping it in the zone, centering pass. Firing but high. Kept in the zone, here's Molly. And it will come back now for Stanecki. They need to clear it out, ACT. They do now. Trying to set up a running play, keeping the zone, Stanecki. 2-on-1 situation, 3-on-1 situation, firing. Had that many players, it was like seagulls fighting over a chip. Penalty coming with 29 seconds remaining. ACT's touch up, 26 seconds on the big clock. 2 minutes on the small clock in favour of Queensland.
Yeah, you feel like Queensland's just getting a little more space. ACT have been working hard, but I think they're, it's just the game is opening up just a little bit there. Yeah.
So Christiev sitting 2 minutes, and so the skipper asking the question, which he's quite entitled to do.
Yeah.
Tucking zone face-off, start of the Queensland power play, 26 seconds remaining in the period. If I remember, they finished the last period on a power play as well, if I remember rightly. Back now for Jones. Jones centering pass, 18 seconds in the period. Kimmett setting up in front of the net. And we have a whistle. The net's off.
I think it was the player in behind, was it?
Quite possibly.
I don't think we can blame the goalie for that one.
Eh? No, I don't think we can blame Murray for that one. 14 seconds on the big clock, minute 48 on the small clock. Jones will take the attacking zone face-off. Will Waters coming on. Clear it out. All the way back down across the line. They're short-handed, so icing won't apply. 5 seconds remaining in the period. One last opportunity possibly for Boland. Entering the zone, doesn't get a handle on it, sends it wide. That's the end of the period. And 7-0 Queensland. I'll run through the goal scorers for you shortly. David, what were your impressions of the first 2 periods?
Well, yeah, so, a lot of scramble defense there for ACT. Queensland, they played a measured game. They went through a patch there where they had a lot of possession with not generating any offense other than in the offensive zone. Yeah, you can just see that ACT are tiring. It's been a long tournament for them. They've been working hard in all their games. So Queensland aren't so ham-fisted now because they're getting a bit more room. But they're playing a measured game, and they're dancing the puck around. They're moving their feet still. So it's a 7-0 game with them going into the tournament tomorrow. So it's probably just working on some of their strategies and systems, and trying to keep the intensity up. Also, try not to bring in any bad habits.
Awesome. So I'll run through the goal scorers, and there have been a lot in this one. First period, Aussie Partridge, first goal of the tournament, assisted by Hodges and Middleton.
First goal.
First goal. Well done, Aussie.
Well done.
And then he got one. Now he's got 2. The first goal of the second period, also to Partridge, assisted by Hodges. The third goal was a power play goal to Middleton, and that was a power play goal assisted by Warden and We Met. Now, we learnt this one yesterday. There was one that came up with the goalie's name. It wasn't a goalie goal, but sometimes if they're not sure who actually got the goal, they'll put in the goalie's name. And that's what they've done on this occasion for the power play goal at 10:55 remaining in the second. That was assisted by Middleton and Mannix. They will hopefully sort that one out later. Haley, the next one, assisted by Cannon and Mannix. Molly, assisted by Boland and Snakey. And then Snakey got the last one, assisted by Molly. 7-0 Queensland, shots on 22-5. We'll be back in about 10 minutes for the resumption of play. Back then.
See you then.
Welcome back to Hunter Ice Skating Stadium for the last time today. It's been a long day. Eric Brook alongside David Baxter, and the Queensland team are all up and about. The ACT team there, and you went down and had a chat to the ACT bench.
Yeah, I rubbed shoulders with a few of the parents and made friends with one of the parents in the ACT. I know a lot of the New South Wales players, but I was able to pin down one ACT parent, and she is the mum of Michael Politi, number 8, and she assured me that Michael has been a long-time hockey fan, although he's only played for 2 years. He fell in love with the Canberra Knights 11 years ago, and is a mad Braves supporter. Apparently goes to every game and heckles the players hard, and his mates on the team like Rowan DeRoy, Noah Harvey, Theodore Denny, and Murray, the goalie, Jared Murray. They all go to pretty much every Brave game.
Oh, well, that's spectator pred for such a young guy, supporting the Knights, because it's the 10-year anniversary of the Brave this season. So watching him from a young age and watching hockey from a young age. Back now, Boland. Still a minute 15 of the power play remaining. Sargent down there. They're short-handed ACT, but they're on the attack. Sargent getting his troops together. And it'll come back now for Boland. Boland now entering the zone, having some support, centering. Jones under some traffic, under some pressure by Sargent. Battle up against the corner. Spunner that hit by Sargent, maybe up there. And they'll try and clear it out via Hugh Campbell.
So my tip is Queensland might score a couple of quick goals here because of the fresh ice. The passes will be nice and crisp and fast.
I bet everybody's just loving playing on this ice surface here at the Hunter Ice Skating Stadium. Jones fires. And that's the thing, around the country, not all the stadiums have glass, so taking advantage of the glass as well is something that a lot of them may not have experience in, especially in the younger age groups. Here's Partridge now walking the blue line, working down low with Jones in Skeet higher corner. Just walking in, trying to tap it in, and that was trying to tap it in past Murray. Power play over. Back to 5-on-5 hockey.
And glass is an adjustment for defensemen and goalies specifically because it's a different strategy.
Centering, I've got an interesting story about that one coming up in relation to goalies. And that will come back now in the corner. And there's a penalty coming. Penalty box door will be opening. 14 white. Mr. Partridge. Power play coming up, David, for the ACT.
Yes, so that'll be an interesting one. Let's see what they can do.
2 minutes for a slash. ACT power play.
It's going to be down in the Queensland zone, so let's see if they can get some good possession and maybe get a nice goal.
13:03 remaining, 7-0 Queensland. 2 minutes on the power play clock for the ACT.
Got to win the face-off, though.
Got to win the face-off and didn't. That will come all the way back now for Kristiov.
He's lost the puck.
There it is. Kristiov with it now. It's got options left and right. First matter of business to get it past Kimmett. Finding some support. DeRoy trying to enter the zone. 3 Queensland players in the immediate vicinity, including Campbell, including Kimmett, and including Morton.
I should mention Panahi's cage hang, eh? He's got great cage hang.
Okay, play continues. Ouimet clears it out.
He's very proud of it.
So say that again.
His cage, see how it dangles?
Oh, the cage?
The dangle. So you're in the AI world with no cages, eh?
Yeah, right, okay.
The senior juniors, they love to test that.
But the funny thing, even in the AI, somebody like Bert Malloy wearing a bubble or a fishbowl because of an injury that he had. So even Ty Wishart, who's like 70 foot a billion, played in the NHL, even he's wearing a bubble these days. Cleared out into the ACT bench.
He's also got the silver.
Yep.
Yeah. Bit of bling.
Yep. And we'll have a neutral zone face-off. So the goalie story from ages ago in the AI, Adelaide Adrenaline were in town at Macquarie playing against the Ice Dogs. A Adelaide player fired the puck, selected power drive as if he was firing. It ended up probably closer to the car park than what it did to the net. Took an interesting bounce off the netting, behind the net, and then it ended up in front of the net in the slot for an Adelaide player to score a goal. And so it was a good goal, Adrenaline. And of course they're used to playing with netting at the Ice Arena in Adelaide. But the goalie for the Ice Dogs, a Swedish import, hasn't had a lot of experience with netting.
Nope.
And so he was sort of arguing the point. And the coach of the Ice Dogs, mate, said basically this is how it is in Australia, you have to get used to it. It was very early in his stay.
The stanchions along can be a problem too for dump-ins. If you do a high dump-in, it can really ricochet.
So here now, trying to clear the zone. Entering the zone now is Hodges. Hodges up against Christiov. Back in towards Cafe Corner that is now closed for the evening. And then it'll come back to Fermanix.
Are they open early tomorrow?
Oh, they'll be open early. If they're not open early, there'll be a riot.
Bacon and egg rolls?
Bacon, egg rolls, coffee.
Yeah, I might have one tomorrow.
We'll see how we go. We'll see how you report in tomorrow.
I dig deeper in my pocket tomorrow, I think.
So Middleton in the slot, kept in the zone by Mannix, right-hand side. Getting around one, Boland, clearing it out. It'll come all the way back down. Hodges has to turn and chase. 10-10 remaining in the third period. Penalty boxes are empty. Queensland 7-0. They work it out on the right-hand side. Here's Aussie Partridge now. Scored his first goal of the tournament today, and then his second goal soon thereafter. Off the stick of Met. That'll come up towards 99 Waters in the corner. Yeah, Queensland still having it. Sorry, David.
No, it's great. He was looking for an assist there, I think.
Back now looking to enter the zone. Aussie Partridge with it. Coming back now, centering. Here's Partridge in the slot. Hodges. And that was just critical finishing there by Hodges at point-blank range.
That was good teamwork.
Certainly was. So Hodges has been a nuisance in front of the net all tournament.
Yeah, that's his legendary status, isn't it?
That's one of his jobs. 9:34 remaining, 8-0 Queensland. So DeGran now entering the zone, firing, cleared out quickly there by Murray. They'll come all the way back down, and they'll clear it out. Kept in the zone by Queensland. And here comes DeRoy. DeRoy into the zone, firing wide. It'll come back now for Met. Met near the door of doom, clearing it out. There's Maybe. Lining in the way, but occupational hazard, and it is play on like in some other sports. Centering pass, there was no Queensland player to follow up. Cannon was probably the closest. Not like some other sports. Oh, it hit me, we have to stop playing because the ball hit me and I'm the referee.
Don't give many ideas.
Back now, Cannon. Our officials again, official appreciation time. They did do a great job, doing a great job here. Lots of them from all over Australia in town in Newcastle, and of course developing their skills as well with lots of games, lots of situations, and some of them have been unusual.
Yeah.
Back now entering the zone. Here comes Cannon. Cannon fires. Cannon scores. Cannon. It was a low range cannon along the ground, but that's all it needed to be.
5-hole 8.
5-hole 8.
What'd you say?
The cannon was along the ground.
Yeah.
8:20 remaining. Back to centre ice we go.
Has he scored before in this tournament?
Say again?
I wonder, has he scored before in this tournament?
He may have. We'll have a look at the end of the game and find that out. Back now, here comes Campbell. Campbell in some traffic on the attack. It's back now for Kimmett. Mannix now centering. Kept in the zone via Queensland on the right-hand side. Look, Mannix is heading towards the back door. Cafe corner. Firing, shooting from distance, or to give it its full title, the Peter Lambert approved Cafe corner.
It's a bit of pain there, blocking that shot, but he's off skating.
Back now for Gillett. Gillett, good battle against Warden. Warden helps him into the boards. It'll come back down. Warden's been good in forward or defence. Warden looking to go up the whole 200 foot or 60 centimetres of ice. Drops it off now for Kimmett. Kimmett was looking for a backhand shovel. Barone Campbell in front of the net, battling up against 99 Waters. Kept in the zone just by Boland. Boland fires, deflection in the corner. And that will come back now for Bond, Vincent Bond, up against Christiev. Into the corner. Back now Boland selects power drive. Good rebound opportunity for Queensland, but it was cleared out of the slot. Back now for Jones with 6:54 remaining. Backdoor opportunity, just took too long, Jamison.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shooting gallery at the moment, isn't it?
Hang on, I wonder what that whistle's going to be about.
A timeout, yeah. Just a break. ACT need a bit of a break.
Timeout ACT.
Yeah. Yeah, they're really ramping up the shots, Queensland, at the moment. You know, tired legs. I guess that's sort of their plan now, just to utilize the shot, get a rebound.
Did you have any other discussions while you were downstairs in the Zamboni break?
Well, I just had a couple of discussions with New South Wales parents, and they're all, very grateful for their opportunity for their kids to play for ACT.
Yep.
Because a couple of them, I think, were reserve players for New South Wales. So, it's a good experience. A lot of these kids, it's their first time playing at the state national tournament. So, even though they're not going on to the next round, it's developing them.
And there's probably a better option to be able to play for ACT compared to, say, being a reserve for New South Wales and probably not playing.
Yeah. Or sitting at home.
Or sitting at home, yelling at the screen. Attacking zone face-off. Molly will take it now. Flung into the corner. Up against the boards. It was Jamison. Flung across now into Cafe corner. Up against the boards. It will always be Cafe corner even if it's closed. Back in the corner. People actually like my landmarks. Back now for Jamison. For Molly. Up against the boards. Yeah, we'll come back. Liverpool's actually a hard one to give the corners names because of the way it's set out. Well, it's more ends rather than corners in Liverpool for me, but I haven't commentated there in quite some time. Well, back now for Bond.
I think old committee members could be used.
Oh, well, there we go. That could possibly work.
Old presidents.
Old presidents, maybe.
Current presidents.
Back now for Molly. Mate, I have hard enough time finding out who the players are sometimes, let alone the past presidents of teams, and that will come back, no icing. I've done massive team list, 4 tournaments at once, 6 teams in each tournament. Preparing the team list, it's a thing that I like to do. It helps with my pre-game prep. Across the face of goal by Partridge. It will come in now for Jamison, past Partridge. Coming into the zone in the corner, Jones. Bond, Vincent Bond up against the blue line. And they'll try and clear it out. ACT, 5:20 remaining. Cafe corner, centering. ACT getting it back in towards neutral ice. Queensland having to come back. Boland. Shots on favouring Queensland, 28-5. Here's Hodges now. Hodges driving in. ACT looked to clear it out of the zone and deal. It was good work there by Maybe. Both Maybe brothers with some talent, and they've gone offside.
Yes, I see Queensland, a couple of their players are coming off there, shaking their heads. Yeah, it's frustrating, because the other team is, they're playing that shell defense, and yeah, it's just a different kind of game. It can be frustrating to play.
Back now, a neutral zone face-off closest to the Queensland bench. They'll come back now. DeRoy clearing it out. Here's DeGraw. And we've got so many different nationalities involved in hockey. The AI, for instance, there's a lot of Japanese players in the Australian League this season. Here's Christiov. Christiov we met, and then you've got like French-Canadian families, Americans.
Czech.
Czech. Czech's a big one.
The Swedes.
The Swedes. And then there's a lot of people who come over from other countries and they stay. Back now, battling in the corner. DeGraw with it now, 4:10 remaining.
The odd Islander involved too, though, you know. Shout out to some of the Islanders.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Back now for Haley. Entering the zone, Cannon. Christiov. You know, and then you've got young guys in this team that have been following the Canberra Knights and now the Brave, who are still very young themselves. Been watching them for years. Back now for DeGraw. Oh, my only regret, and no fault of mine, of course, I wish I had discovered this much earlier. Back now for Ouimet. 10 years in hockey this year. In the corner, flung out all the way back down. I think that was more of a question there from old mate Mayer. Well, is that icing or not? It'll come back now. Mannix, Campbell, Maroon Campbell, flung into the air. Gilling under some pressure. Here's Queensland on the attack. Kimmett now. Kimmett fires. Kimmett scores.
So that's the magic number, eh?
I think that is the magic number. So we have the semi-final matches confirmed, by the way, for Ginsberg. We'll go through that at the end of this game. The goal scorers from this game, and Ginsberg still waiting. I still haven't seen the final matchup for this tournament yet for Tange, but that could also depend on goal differential as well. So we'll wait for that to get sorted out. Up against the boards, that shouldn't take long after this game. Up against the boards, battle in Cafe Corner. Reinforcements arriving from each team. The puck continues to move, and it does. Here's Queensland. Kimmett setting up in front of the net. They're driving the net, and now the floodgates are opening.
Yep, too much time and space there and close for him. The goalie, it's too hard on the goalie.
Oh, they've both had a lot of work to do, Sargent and Murray.
Yeah, it's not just shots on too, though. It's zone time. You know,
yeah, zone time's a lot. Yeah,
goalies have to be really alert, and this post to post.
Great work, Christie, of desperation with 2.5 minutes remaining in a game where you're losing 11-0. Still to be sliding around the ice, trying to block something or put yourself in a lane. DeRoy now trying to clear it out. 2:15 remaining. Captain's zone via Boland. Turning around. Here's an opportunity. Vincent Bond comes back near the door of doom. Cleared out into the attacking zone of the ACT. Here's an opportunity. There's a shot that goes slightly wide from Denny. Centering in front. Trying to connect but couldn't, and cleared out. And a little bit of field position, if you want to use that term, for ACT. Finally, David.
Field position.
Back now. Left-hand side, trying to enter the zone. They do a good job of entering the zone. Lots of congestion on the far side. The Don Champagne stand side.
Oh, there's another opportunity.
Another opportunity in front. Player comes down. Penalty coming. ACT power play to finish the thing up. Empty net. Extra attacker on. And Queensland will touch up. Minute 19 on the big clock. 2 minutes on the small clock.
Yeah, I might see a good little push here from ACT to get a goal.
So Boland will sit for 2 minutes for a cross check. Attacking zone face off and power play coming up for the ACT. They'll go the left-hand circle. Gilling will take the attacking zone face off against Maroon Campbell. Here's an opportunity for the ACT. Queensland, as they have been all game, too strong. Flung in there by Campbell. Almost a funky rebound in front of the net there. And it will come back now for Jones. There is 1 minute remaining in the third period. Time rapidly expiring. Queensland have booked their seat to the semi-finals of the Tange tournament. We'll find out shortly which seat they will occupy, which bench they will occupy. ACT working it out. Valiant in defeat right until the end. The last ACT team in the tournament. And that will come back now for Christiov, who will try and clear it out with 30 seconds remaining. Up against We Met. Don't turn it over there. We Met. Absolute pressure until the final second. Centering pass off the skates of Maroon Campbell. We Met firing and spraying it wide. 15 seconds remaining. Keeping it in the zone. ACT, one last opportunity on the breakaway. Coming back is Warden. Safety first there with 4 seconds remaining. The clock skipped a little bit. I don't think anybody will mind under the circumstances.
No change.
No change. For White. 4 seconds remaining.
And the penalty will remain throughout.
If you rob Dushman, are you pulling the goal in?
Why not? Why not?
Why not? Up against the board, the well-deserved win by Queensland. Out of bounds at the net. They were just trying to pass it on to Hoi Hoi.
Yeah, goalie reflexes.
Sometimes they're the ones that you can least rely on when they're on the bench. One last opportunity. 0.61 seconds remaining. Just enough time, you would think, to drop the puck. That is it. Queensland too big, too strong. But the ACT Valiant in defeat.
Over and out. Yeah.
Hang on a sec.
He wants you to say hi to his mum.
Hi Nicole, how you going? Shout out. And that was Mr. DeRoy coming underneath the bench. I was wondering, why am I getting tapped on the shoulder? We've got a ladder next to us. Why am I getting tapped on the shoulder here?
Did he climb the ladder with his skates?
No, he did. I'm glad he didn't climb the ladder with his skates. He was tapping me on the shoulder, and I'm thinking, who's delivering me food? The cafe's closed. So shout out, Nicole, from your son, Mr. DeRoy. I did really appreciate it. Once I figured out what was going on, can you give my mum a shout out? Like, he's just lost the game 11-0, and he's thinking about giving his mum a shout out on the stream. How good's that?
He wants a new hockey stick. He's eyeing.
How many hockey? Hang on, he's gone now. I can't ask him the question. He's on the ice.
He's eyeing the Choice Skaters Network stick. The new shipment is in.
So handshake lines all round. I'll recap the goal scorers in the last period for you for Queensland. That just adds to one of the funny things that have happened here at the Hunter Ice Skating Stadium over the last 10 days. Don't need that screen just yet. Don't need that screen just yet. That's for merch for later on. That's a future me problem. So stick taps all round. This is the end of the round robin segment. We will have a look at the goal scorers in this period. I'll recap the Ginsberg semis coming up. We'll see if they've dropped the result, the semi-finalist. So it ended up 11-0 to Queensland in the third period. Hodges from Partridge and Middleton. Cannon, that was Cannon's first goal for this tournament, but I think he also did score in defree.
Yep, awesome.
Assisted by Jones. Kimmett from Jones and Campbell. And Jones with his first goal of the tournament, assisted by Campbell. Shots on, they ended up in the favour of Queensland. Surprisingly low, 30-6. Stick taps all round. For all the fans in attendance here at the Hunter Ice Skating Stadium. Let's recap, go to the schedule for tomorrow. Bright and early here at the Hunter Ice Skating Stadium. So semi-final 1 will be at 10:20 for Tange, and then semi-final 2 at 12 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just checking that. Don't have those yet. They will be added up now. Our tournament director Dawn Watt will have those up available as soon as possible. And the semi-final matchups for Ginsberg, which I'll be here bright and early for. I'm only on Ginsberg tomorrow. It'll be at 7 a.m. semi-final 1 between Victoria and South Australia. And finally, semi-final number 2 at 8:40, New South Wales against Queensland in Ginsberg. Thank you, David, for your company. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks. Have a good night's sleep, everyone, and we'll see you bright and early.
Thank you. We will see you bright and early on behalf of the entire Thought Fox crew. Thank you very much for watching. Queensland 11-0 against the ACT. Round robin over, 1 day of the national tournaments to go. Thank you very much for watching. Eric Brook on behalf of the entire Thought Fox crew. See you later. Thanks for watching and goodbye for now.